When my mother called me a parasite, I didn't react. I just looked at her. Really looked. The woman who once tucked me in when I had nightmares now stared at me like I was one. It wasn't what she said that broke me, it was how casually she said it. "Your sister is coming with her kids to live with us, so you need to leave," she said, sipping her tea as if eviction was as normal as morning news. "You've lived here long enough, and honestly, you're not contributing much." The word parasite came next. Sharp. Final. I remembered laughing, quietly. "You're joking, right?" She didn't even flinch. "No, I'm serious." And she meant it, I could tell. Backstory. When my father died 3 years ago, I moved back in to help her. She wasn't eating, could barely walk without crying. I paid the bills, fixed the roof, even redid the kitchen she'd always wanted. My sister? She was too busy living her best life with her second husband in another city. She'd show up twice a year, cry fake tears, then disappear again before the dishes from dinner were dry. But when her marriage cracked, she suddenly remembered she had a mother and a home. That's when everything shifted. Mom started talking about her poor daughter, how she needs support. I noticed the tone she used with me began to change. Less warmth, more criticism. I brushed it off. Until that night. The betrayal. I knew my mother favored my sister, always had. But I never thought she'd throw me out for her. I overheard her on the phone that week telling my sister, "Don't worry, I'll handle him. The house will be yours soon." Yours. That word burned. It wasn't just about the house. It was the years, the sacrifices, the loyalty that apparently meant nothing. That's when something inside me went quiet. No yelling, no confrontation, just a switch flipped. If I was the parasite, I decided, then I would detach completely and take everything I had brought into that house with me. The plan. The night before she went to pick up my sister, I sat in my old room, staring at the walls I painted, the shelves I built, the furniture I bought. All of it was mine. And in the morning, it would all be gone. I moved fast, booked a small apartment under my name, called a moving service. They arrived at dawn. While she was out getting her beloved daughter, I stripped that house of everything that belonged to me. My electronics, the appliances I purchased, even the new locks I'd installed after the last break-in. Then I changed them again. When the movers left, I stood in the empty living room. It looked smaller without my things. Hollow. Just like her affection. Before walking out, I left a note on the kitchen counter. "You called me a parasite. Parasites don't leave. They feed. I'm gone, and now you'll feel what feeding really meant." Then I locked the door and slipped the keys into my pocket. The panic. It didn't take long. 2 hours later, my phone rang. Mom. I didn't pick up. Then came a stream of messages. First, confusion. Then anger. Then desperation. "Why did you change the locks? Your sister and the kids are standing outside. We can't get in. Where are the keys?" I let them sit there, unread. Finally, a call from my sister. "You're so selfish," she spat. "Mom's crying. The kids are scared." I hung up. I wasn't selfish. I was done. The confrontation. 3 days later, she showed up at my new place. Somehow she'd found the address. Her voice cracked at the door. "How could you do this to your family?" I stared at her. "You mean the family that called me a parasite?" She tried to speak, but I didn't let her. "For 3 years I paid for everything," I said. "You just didn't notice until I stopped." Tears welled in her eyes. "I didn't mean it. I was angry." "No," I replied softly. "You meant it. You just didn't think I'd ever stop accepting it." She stood there, speechless, watching as I closed the door. The fallout. A week later, she called again. This time her tone was different, measured, cautious. Turns out, my sister left after a few days. claimed she couldn't live in a place that smelled of betrayal. The house bills piled up. The food ran out. The parasite was suddenly missed. She asked me to come back, said she needed me. I almost laughed. I told her, "Mom, I'm not angry anymore, but I'm not coming back. You made your choice." There was silence on the line. I could almost hear the weight of her regret pressing against it. The payoff. Sometimes I drive by that house at night. The curtains are closed, the lights are dim. It's strange how a place can look the same but feel dead. I don't feel guilty. I don't feel sad. Just free. People think revenge is about destruction. It's not. It's about clarity. About finally seeing people for who they are and deciding you won't be their victim anymore. My mother once told me, "A home is where love lives." I finally understand. That house stopped being a home the day she told me to leave. Now I have peace.